In an ordinary building, with ordinary buttons, an elevator becomes a passage. The ritual requires none of the cliché components. No relic, no candles, no circle drawn in blood. Only a sequence, a set of floors, and a refusal to speak. The willingness to step into a space no longer belonging to this world. Some say it is only a game, others claim it to be a test, and some insist that if the sequence is followed exactly, the elevator does not malfunction, it takes you somewhere adjacent to this world and waits to see whether you come back or not. This is the elevator ritual. The elevator ritual, also known as the elevator game, is an occult procedure said to allow travel to another dimension through a specific sequence of elevator movements. Its instructions have circulated online for years. The details vary slightly from version to version, but the core structure always remains the same. 1. A person enters the elevator in a building with enough floors to complete the pattern. 2. They press a prescribed sequence of numbers. 3. They follow the sequence without hesitation or interruption. What makes the ritual distinctive is its lack of eerie clichés. There is no decrepit church or abandoned forest. There's no hidden object to be recovered from some archive. It takes place in apartment blocks, hotels, office towers, ordinary places designed for routine everyday life, not supernatural transit. This familiarity is part of its power. The ritual does not ask the participant to enter an obviously haunted place. It asks them to convert a familiar one into a threshold, and once the instructions are learned, every elevator begins to feel slightly altered by the possibility. The procedure is usually described with absolute precision. The participant must begin alone, a coded ascent and descent through the building, pressing buttons in a fixed order, allowing the elevator to stop, and refusing to break the sequence even if another passenger enters. The ritual depends on obedience, not partial obedience, total obedience. A missed button, a spoken word, a wrong glance, any deviation is said to collapse the process and force the participant back into the ordinary world. At the center of the ritual is a warning repeated so often it has become its own form of folklore. If a woman enters the elevator during the sequence, do not speak to her, do not look at her, do not answer her if she addresses you. In some versions, she appears ordinary at first, in others, wrong in subtle ways. The explanation given by believers is simple. She is not just another passenger. She is part of the threshold itself, or an entity waiting near it. A gatekeeper, a lure, a witness. If she is acknowledged, the ritual changes, and not in the participant's favor. According to those who believe in the supernatural workings of the ritual, the elevator functions as a liminal chamber, a sealed vertical space moving between levels, carrying a person outside of the normal logic of ordinary rooms. The repeated sequence acts as a kind of modern invocation, where older sites use chants, symbols, and sacred geometry. This one uses architecture, repetition, and machine compliance. It is not said to create another world, but to align the participant with one that already exists beyond our own. This is where the ritual becomes darker than ordinary urban legend. It suggests that dimensional access does not require cosmic events or advanced technologies, only the correct misuse of an ordinary space. Each stop, each rising floor number, each pause in a sealed car is said to weaken the participant's attachment to the known world. Silence matters because language anchors the mind. Eye contact matters because recognition forms a bond. The sequence must remain intact because the ritual is not symbolic, it is directional. It is taking the participant somewhere, and the rules exist to prevent them from being claimed on the way. Believers describe the destination in unnerving terms. It is not a dream world or a fantasy landscape. It is this world, the world we live in now, but cleared out. Streets appear deserted, corridors feel uncannily quiet, buildings stand unchanged, but seem stripped of all their purpose. Some accounts describe a red cross or distant crimson glow visible from windows, as though the sky itself has been marked. Others describe city lights with no movement beneath them, or a silence so complete it becomes oppressive. Phones stop working, electronics fail, reflection and sound behave strangely. The place does not feel destroyed, it feels paused. That distinction is what gives the ritual its particular dread. The other place, as some describe it, is order without life, a version of reality from which everyone else has been removed. Participants who claim to have reached it often focus on the same sensations, the certainty that they are being observed despite the absence of visible people, the impression that distance no longer behaves normally, and the growing fear that the place is, in fact, not empty at all. The woman in the elevator remains the ritual's most feared element because she is the point at which the procedure becomes personal. A wrong floor can be blamed on error, a dead phone can be dismissed, but a figure who enters at the exact stage the ritual predicts, then addresses the participant directly, transforms the process from mechanism into encounter. She asks where the participant is going. She tells them not to continue. Sometimes she offers help. Sometimes she only watches. Following her, if she exits and beckons, is treated as one of the worst possible mistakes. The consequences for breaking the rules are often described in language that grows darker the more accounts are compared. Some say the elevator simply resets and the ritual fails. Others say failure is not immediate, and that the participant may return physically while bringing something of the experience back with them. Permanent disorientation, repeated dreams, intrusive sounds. More extreme versions speak of becoming trapped in the wrong reality, or returning to a world that looks identical but is not the one you left behind. Elevators are built to move bodies between floors. The ritual asks whether they can also move consciousness between states or worlds or structures of reality not meant to be crossed. It turns a neutral machine into a test of obedience and a possible doorway to another world. And once that possibility is introduced, the ordinary elevator becomes difficult to trust, ever again. Heat concludes this entry, but every shadow leads to another trace, and every trace to another unanswered question. If you want the next case as soon as it resurfaces, stay with us. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and step back into the dark with Noctombre.